Well, hey y'all. You know, we're always finding weird things to do, and we just go with the flow, and today's flow is a salt mine. And where are we, honey?
We are in Hutchinson, Kansas, and behind us is Strataca Underground Salt Mine and Museum. And so we're going to take a tour down there. We're going to go down 650 feet below ground. Part of it is a tour in the dark, so you better hold on my hand so I don't get scared.
Oh, I will.
Okay. And so this is something kind of unusual. They've been mining salt here for over 100 years, and so we're going to find out all about it on the tour. And the other bonus here is this is actually a Harvest Host location.
That's right. Their last tour is at 3 o'clock. And the tours last 2 hours, so we'll be able to go to our RV and relax the rest of the evening.
So come along with us and let's delve underground into the salt mine.
This underground salt museum is one of the 8 wonders of Kansas of 2008. Now, this year we visited another one of the 8 wonders of Kansas, and that was the Garden of Eden that we saw a few days ago in Lucas.
All right, so we are going down 650 feet. So
275 million years ago, back during the Permian era, this was when Kansas was covered by a very salty, very shallow sea. Throughout this hall, you'll find all sorts of reader boards and exhibits that pertain to this era, and to, of course, salt itself. Now, as you get down to the end of the hall, there is a signpost. There, another docent will greet you and let you know the layout of the rest of the museum from that.
There are no fossils here in this salt, but the shape behind the plexiglass, it looks like a seahorse. It was made by smoke from a blast. We have to wear hard hats. But the reason why there's no fossils here is they speculate that the salt concentration was too high, or animals may have moved on. This area of cracked salt is called a pipe, and this salt mine is over 350 feet thick. The pipe is an area where water penetrated a crack in the mud and worked its way down through layers of salt and sediment, depositing mud and leaving small pods of crystallized salt in its wake. This is a pretty big chunk of salt.
It weighs about 6,000 pounds and is mostly pure salt because water level got in here and caused the sediment to sink down to the bottom, and then as it dried, the salt became more pure. I'd fill a lot of salt shakers.
Yeah, well, but they use this salt for mostly icy roadways.
But they can make purified salt.
Yeah, it would take more processing.
Mm-hmm. And the 6 foot level up here is about this line right here. This area was done in the 20s and 30s.
And there's a 10-foot level that was done in the 40s and 50s higher up. Bruce Taylor, Lewis Levy, Dan Howell, Peter Dunn. This area of the mine is the most recently mined in 2004. This was run entirely on batteries.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the first electric vehicle.
No, Studebaker worked on electric vehicles back in the early 1900s.
Oh yeah.
Well, they've been giving tours for a long time, and in the early 60s they had to quit giving tours because it interfered with the work that was being done here. And then I'm not sure when it started back up, probably because the actual operation of the mine is so far back into the mine now that it's not an area where people are going to be touring.
Yeah. In 1952, they had over 9,000 visitors, and so the mine became so popular, people started having to make appointments to come and take the tours. So in the early 60s, they built wooden cars like those, but they were never used because tourism was stopped. And over here are just some of the tools that they use to mine the salt. So when they quit using the rail cars, they started using vehicles to get around, and vehicles can only last about 10 years in this mine, but they have a whole maintenance department that paints them on a regular basis so they'll last longer.
And they're also all converted to diesel because the diesel's not as combustible as gasoline is, so it's safer.
But now they use a what they call B100. It's a soy diesel, so it's better for the environment. So the process of getting this salt out involves undercutting, drilling, and blasting. Is that right?
That's right.
So first they use a machine to undercut the wall, and it's usually done in a really straight line. And then they come back and drill holes, and they insert ammonium nitrate and caps. Blasting caps. And the men have to get 300 feet away in 4 minutes, or else they're blasted.
And that's done at the end of the day. So the other workers leave, and then the blasters stay here.
Yeah, there's two of them.
And then they blast it. When they ignite the fuse, they have, like you said, 4 minutes to get 300 yards away. And then that brings enough salt down, about 250 tons of salt down, for them to clear out the next day.
Right. This explosive magazine held explosives from the 1920s, and the workers constructed it from old dynamite boxes of different types, and it was used for a long time until the Mine Safety and Health Administration found out that it was put together with nails, and they had to decommission it, and so a new magazine was built with plywood using brass screws and glue to hold it together. Interesting. Here's the scoop. It scoops up the salt.
Scoops it up and then runs it up a conveyor belt into the shuttle cars.
Which shuttles it to the elevator.
Mm-hmm.
Did it say that the elevator used is the same one the men go up and down?
Yeah, the car, the transport
Yeah.
that takes the salt up, is the same one the men ride down.
Yeah.
course, you know, the one thing is it stays 68 degrees year round down here.
Yeah, so the
And
weather's
it
not
doesn't
bad.
rain.
The salt they mine here is used mostly for icy roads, but about 30 to 40% of it is used for livestock feed. Strataca. That's a cool sign, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It lights up the salt crystals. It lights up the salt crystals.
Yeah, it does. So you can see over there a roll of toilet paper. And one day a worker was doing some cleaning and she came across a blasting cap box and she picked it up and there was toilet paper underneath. Sometimes the miners didn't have time to make it to the porta potty, so they said, well, it's another reason not to lick the salt. Okay, and this area has to do with movies. They have different movie memorabilia in here. Some props from Men in Black.
And that's because the inside the salt mine down here, it always maintains a constant humidity and a constant temperature, and it's protected from disasters, it's protected from fires, it's protected from earthquakes.
I mean the films are.
Everything's protected down here.
And this is
The
equal.
driver's suit from Charlie's Angels. But the underground vault and storage company only is using about 5% of the available space that it has down here. So there's room for it to grow. They can store films, they can store video, they can store costumes, they can store people's records.
I think we've reached the end. This is the gift shop that we're at. So what's your take on this whole salt museum?
It's interesting what all they can do with the area down here and how it's been in operation for over 100 years. You see some of the changes from how it was first done by hand now to more automation, but still basically they're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So,
I wasn't sure what to expect. I thought we would be given more of a guided tour. Well, they give you 2 hours, but you take your time walking and reading all the stuff they have for you to read.
let's
From 650 feet below the surface of the earth.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Sarah,
We're the Go With The Flow couple.
and we say
Bye,
bye,
y'all.
y'all.